You weren't born by accident. The day, the time, the exact moment you entered this world. None of it was random. Ibn Arabi taught that the universe operates on precision, that every soul arrives at the exact moment it's meant to, and certain moments, certain dates, carry more spiritual weight than others. They're like cracks in the fabric of reality, and souls born on these dates slip through with abilities already awake, with sensitivities already activated, with gifts that others spend decades trying to unlock. And if you're watching this, if something pulled you here, there's a chance you're one of them. Most people think birthdays are just numbers on a calendar, a way to mark time, to count years, to celebrate aging. But Ibn Arabi saw something different. He studied the patterns, the cycles, the way certain dates seem to produce individuals who are more attuned to the unseen, more sensitive to energy, more connected to intuition. And he realized that these weren't coincidences, that the moment of birth, the alignment of celestial bodies, the energetic frequency of that specific day, all of it combined to create an opening, a portal. Can the souls that came through certain portals arrive different? Not better, not worse, just different, with abilities already online, with senses already heightened, with a natural connection to realms that most people spend their entire lives trying to access. And these people, whether they realize it or not, have always felt it. That sense of being different, of not quite fitting in, of seeing, feeling, knowing things that others don't. And they've spent their lives wondering why. What makes them this way? Why can't they just be normal? Ibn Arabi would say, it's because of when you arrived. That your birthday isn't just a date. It's a frequency, a signature, an energetic imprint that shapes who you are and what you're capable of perceiving. And certain dates, certain alignments, create conditions where spiritual abilities aren't something you have to develop. They're something you were born with, already awake, already active, already waiting for you to recognize them. People born on the 1st, 10th, 19th, or 28th of any month carry what Ibn Arabi called the frequency of initiation. These are the individuals who feel like they're always starting something, always being pulled toward new beginnings, always sensing that they're here to pioneer something. And that sense isn't wrong. These dates carry the energy of leadership, not in a worldly, ego-driven way, but in a spiritual way. These people are meant to go first, to break ground, to show others what's possible. They see paths where others see walls. They feel callings where others feel confusion. And their gift is in their ability to move forward, even when nothing makes sense, even when no one else understands. But that gift comes with a burden, because people born on these dates often feel isolated, misunderstood, like they're walking a path alone. And they are, not because they're being punished, but because they're here to create new paths. And new paths, by definition, don't have company at first. Ibn Arabi said that these souls chose this, that before they were born, they agreed to come in through a portal of initiation, knowing it would be lonely, knowing it would be hard, but also knowing it was necessary, because someone has to go first. Someone has to show the way. And if you were born on one of these dates, that someone is you. People born on the 2nd, 11th, 20th, or 29th carry the frequency of sensitivity. These are the empaths, the feelers, the ones who absorb energy like a sponge, who walk into a room and immediately know what everyone is feeling, who can't watch the news without crying, who feel other people's pain as if it's their own. And for most of their lives, they think something is wrong with them, that they're too sensitive, too emotional, too fragile. But Ibn Arabi would say they're not too anything. They're exactly as they're meant to be, because these dates create openings for souls who are here to feel, to witness, to hold space for the emotions that others suppress. And that's not a weakness. It's a gift, a rare and necessary gift, because the world is full of people who are disconnected from their own feelings, who've learned to numb, to suppress, to perform. And the people born on these dates, they can't do that. They feel everything. And in feeling everything, they remind others that feeling is still possible. That beneath all the armor, all the defense, all the pretending, there's still a heart. Still a soul. Still something real. But this gift is exhausting. Because feeling everything means you're constantly overwhelmed. Constantly overstimulated. Constantly trying to distinguish between what's yours and what's theirs. Ibn Arabi said that people born on these dates need solitude more than others. Not because they're antisocial, but because they need time to discharge the energy they've absorbed, to return to themselves, to remember who they are beneath all the feelings they've taken on. And if you were born on one of these dates, and you've spent your life feeling too much, know this. You're not broken. You're just awake to something most people are asleep to. And that wakefulness, painful as it is your purpose. People born on the 3rd, 12th, 21st, or 30th carry the frequency of expression. These are the communicators, the artists, the truth-tellers, the ones who feel compelled to speak, to create, to share what's inside them. And they can't help it. It's like something is constantly trying to come through them. Words, images, music, ideas. And if they don't let it out, they feel blocked, stagnant, like they're suffocating. Ibn Arabi said that these souls are channels, that they came here to be conduits for messages that need to be heard, for truths that need to be spoken, for beauty that needs to be seen. And the strange thing is, they often don't know where it comes from. They'll write something and think, did I write that? They'll create something and wonder, where did that idea come from? Because it's not coming from them. It's coming through them. And that's the gift. That's the ability. They're naturally open to inspiration, to downloads, to moments where something beyond them uses them as a vessel. And when that happens, when they're in that flow, they feel alive. More alive than they do in any other moment. Because they're doing what they came here to do. They're expressing what can't be expressed any other way. But this gift also comes with frustration. Because the world doesn't always want to hear what they have to say. Doesn't always appreciate what they create. Doesn't always understand the message. And that rejection, that dismissal, it wounds them deeply. Because it's not just their work being rejected. It's them. Or at least, that's how it feels. Ibn Arabi said that people born on these dates need to learn that not everyone is ready for what they're here to express. That their message will find who it's meant to find. And the ones who don't get it, who don't resonate, they're not the audience. They never were. People born on the 4th, 13th, 22nd, or 31st carry the frequency of structure and transformation. These are the builders and the breakers, the ones who see systems clearly, who understand how things work, and who also see where things are broken, where they need to be torn down and rebuilt. And they're often caught between two worlds, the world of order and the world of chaos. And their gift is in being able to hold both, to create structure where there's none, and to destroy structure when it's no longer serving. Ibn Arabi said that these souls are the alchemists, that they have the ability to take what's broken and make it whole, to take what's chaotic and bring it into form. But they also have the ability to recognize when form has become a prison, when structure has become rigid, when what was once helpful has become harmful. And they're not afraid to break it, to dismantle it, to let it fall apart so something new can be born. And that makes them dangerous, not to others, but to systems, to institutions, to the status quo, because they see through the illusion of permanence. They know that everything is temporary. Everything is meant to transform, but this gift isolates them, because most people crave stability, security, predictability, and people born on these dates disrupt all of that, not intentionally, but inevitably, because they're here to show that transformation is necessary, that what was true yesterday might not be true tomorrow. That growth requires destruction, and not everyone is ready for that message. Not everyone wants to hear it. So these souls often find themselves alone, misunderstood, labeled as difficult or destructive, when really, they're just honest. They're just seeing what others refuse to see. People born on the 5th, 14th, or 23rd carry the frequency of freedom and movement. These are the wanderers, the seekers, the ones who can't stay still, who feel restless in routines, who need variety, adventure, change, and they're often judged for it, told they're unstable, unreliable, unable to commit. But Ibn Arabi would say they're not any of those things. They're just operating on a different frequency, a frequency that requires movement, that needs new experiences, that dies in stagnation. These souls are here to explore, not just physically, though many of them do travel, but spiritually, mentally, emotionally. They're here to experience as much as possible, to taste every flavor, to feel every texture, to know life in all its forms. And that's not restlessness. That's purpose. Ibn Arabi said that these souls are gatherers of experience, that they're collecting wisdom not through study, but through living, through trying, through failing, through getting back up and trying again. And every experience, good or bad, adds to their understanding, deepens their knowing, expands their soul. But this gift makes relationships hard, because most people want consistency, want to know what to expect, want someone who will stay. And people born on these dates, they can't promise that. Not because they don't care, but because they're not meant to stay in one place, one job, one version of themselves for too long. They're here to move. And anyone who loves them has to be okay with that, has to understand that their love might look different, might feel less stable, but it's no less real. People born on the 6th, 15th, or 24th carry the frequency of nurturing and responsibility. These are the caretakers, the ones who feel responsible for everyone, who can't help but help, who put others before themselves without even thinking about it. And they're praised for it, told they're good, kind, selfless. But Ibn Arabi would say there's a shadow to this gift, that people born on these dates often lose themselves in service, that they give so much to others, they forget to give to themselves, that they carry so much for everyone else, they don't realize how heavy they've become. And the gift here isn't just in the giving. It's in learning when to stop, when to say no, when to let others carry their own weight. Because these souls didn't come here to be martyrs. They came here to show what true care looks like. And true care includes self-care, includes boundaries, includes recognizing that you can't pour from an empty cup. Ibn Arabi said that people born on these dates have to learn that their worth isn't tied to their usefulness, that they're valuable even when they're not helping, even when they're resting, even when they're just being. People born on the 7th, 16th, or 25th carry the frequency of introspection and mystery. These are the mystics, the philosophers, the ones who ask the big questions, who aren't satisfied with surface-level answers, who need to know why, who need to understand, who spend their lives searching for truth in places most people never look. And they're often alone, because their questions make people uncomfortable. Their depth intimidates. Their need for meaning isolates them from those who are content with the superficial. Ibn Arabi said that these souls are here to seek, that their purpose isn't to find answers for everyone. It's to ask the questions that need to be asked, to go into the dark, to sit with the unknown, to be comfortable with mystery. And in doing that, they remind others that not everything needs to be explained, that some things are meant to remain mysterious, that the unknown isn't something to fear. It's something to respect. People born on the 8th, 17th, or 26th carry the frequency of power and manifestation. These are the ones who seem to create reality with their thoughts, who set intentions and watch them unfold, who understand, consciously or unconsciously, that their energy shapes their experience. And they're often accused of being lucky, of having things easy. But Ibn Arabi would say it's not luck, it's alignment. These souls came in knowing how to work with energy, how to direct it, how to use it to build the life they want. But this gift comes with responsibility, because when you can create with your thoughts, you also have to be aware of what you're thinking, what you're believing, what you're feeding energy to. Ibn Arabi said that people born on these dates carry great power, but power without awareness is dangerous, not to others, to themselves, because they'll manifest what they focus on, whether they want it or not. And if they're focused on fear, on lack, on limitation, that's what they'll create. But if they learn to harness this gift, if they learn to direct it consciously, there's almost nothing they can't do. People born on the 9th, 18th, or 27th carry the frequency of completion and wisdom. These are the old souls, the ones who feel like they've lived 1,000 lives, who carry knowledge they've never been taught, who understand suffering in a way that suggests they've already walked through it. And they often feel tired, not physically, but spiritually, like they've been here too many times, like they're ready to be done, but they're still here. And Ibn Arabi would say that's because their work isn't finished, that these souls are here to close cycles, to finish what others started, to bring things to completion, and their gift is in their ability to see the end from the beginning, to know where things are heading, to understand the patterns, the cycles, the inevitability of certain outcomes. And that knowing, while it brings wisdom, also brings sadness, because they see what's coming. They see where people are heading, and they can't always stop it, can't always intervene, can only witness, and hope that their presence, their energy, their quiet wisdom plant seeds that will bloom later. If you were born on any of these dates, you've probably felt different your whole life. And Ibn Arabi would tell you, you are. Not in a way that makes you better or worse, but in a way that makes you awake to things most people sleep through. And that wakefulness, difficult as it is your gift, your purpose, your reason for being here.